Good afternoon. Today is April 20th, and I'll be continuing to be talking about the coronavirus. So the first piece of news that I like to talk about is that in Singapore, everything was going alright. They were doing contact tracing for the first few cases. They were shutting the borders to populations likely to carry the contagion, and they also provided free testing and treatment. However, in the last few days, Singapore's caseload of patients has more than doubled, with more than 8,000 cases confirmed as of Monday, which is the highest in Southeast Asia. And most of the new infections are within crowded dormitories where low-paid migrant laborers from South Asia and China live, which went unnoticed by many of the country's richer residents and the government itself. So what's so dangerous about this is that the entire Singapore government simply just completely forgot about the migrant workers and it's crowded and bad conditions enough that basically Singapore is becoming a large outbreak in Southeast Asia because it just simply, I guess, lower residents are just so commonly forgotten by the richer residents that even the government turned a blind eye on them, and that's what I think is really dangerous. It's not that the infections in the dormitories, which are bad enough, but it's the fact that the government didn't take them in, didn't give them better conditions. It's the government that completely forgot about them. And another thing about this, this could happen in other countries too. It could not just be the city of Singapore. It could happen in basically any country who just completely forgot its migrant workers living in crowded dormitories. And I think that's what's dangerous here, is the potential that it could happen again and again in other countries and cities as well. The second thing that I'd like to talk about is that early as the coronavirus loomed, many hospitals are losing patients, not because of the coronavirus, but because of other illnesses which went untreated. So the coronavirus may still be killing people even when they're not affected by depriving them of desperately needed treatment. So people are still having heart attacks, strokes, any dangerous tumors, cancers, and this kind of thing I think is that enough that it seems as the virus's influence. I mean, without the virus, hospitals could still be crowded because of, let's say, cancer treatments, heart attacks, strokes. Hospitals were busy, and with the coronavirus, it's just even more so. And what's added to that is that patients, because they're scared of getting the virus, are choosing not to go to hospitals even when they are extremely sick, such as my family. One of my family members recently fell down the stairs, but she chose not to go to the hospital because she was scared of being infected. Hospitals are also choosing not to take on patients, and as a result, many patients are basically in critical condition, but yet they are sick and just, I don't know, I guess you can say that they just died. And I think that people during the coronavirus pandemic forget that there is other illnesses other than the virus. I mean, even though the virus is the main target, people forget about the other important critical illnesses that could be life-threatening if untreated. And so I think that hospitals should try to have more capacity, even though I know it's probably not possible, for these patients, or create a separate hospital for these patients which are actually in critical conditions and are still affected by the virus even if they're not infected. So the next thing that I'd like to talk about is that I want to just introduce a daily life of a person who is stuck in quarantine. And so currently school has been completely transferred online. Last week was spring break, so we didn't have any schoolwork, but this week the schoolwork has returned, and most of it is just that homework is given each day, and for each day we do the work assigned, and after that I guess everything is mostly just free time, and people out there around that area still go walks, runs, exercising outside. I sometimes play badminton, a sport outside, and other than that, I haven't gone anywhere long distance, and so I think that's just entertaining yourself on the internet or read some books, and that's about it. It's not exactly really boring, but it's not really fun either. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a